Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa. Welcome to our tactical debrief. If you're new around here, make sure you are subscribing. Smash the likes. Let's try and go for 1,000 and comment your thoughts on everything that I'll discuss in this episode. Woke up, sun's out, Villa are in form, Villa are back in the race for Champions League football, and I'm feeling very, very good. And I'm feeling good because I think that victory last night was so important for the team. But I feel like it was quite important for me. And I'll tell you why I think it was important for me. Now, we all want to win every game 3 or 4-0. That is just the feet up, watching, or if you're at the games, in the stands, no drama, you're enjoying it, you're feeling free. But that performance yesterday, it can sometimes be worth more than a 4 or a 5-0 win. To see your team dig in and defend and have to show characteristics of a team that want to fight, that want to achieve their dreams and goals at the start of a season. To see a team that has to be a team and come together and play together as an actual team, follow a tactical game plan, knowing that there's high pressure. For me yesterday, that was one of those games where within our journey of Unai Emery, and we are on a journey, we're not the finished article, we're going to keep growing and building. For me, that's one game that I'll now look back on and think, do you know what? That was something. That adds character to this team, and it adds a mentality, and it adds a value. And I think where I'm getting at here is, if anyone watched the press conference reaction that I did a bit of a how I'm feeling, and I was very nervous, and I was nervous because I was nervous about what Villa were going to do. And they ticked a lot of boxes for me of all the things that I wanted to see, all the things that we needed to see to get this win. We couldn't just rock up there and play expansive football because we could get caught, they could score. We had to show everything that we'd got inside to get the win, and we did it. And it was so pleasing to see us do that. Now, the next 2 games are slightly different games in how you have to approach it, because Spurs expansive, we can attack them. United vulnerable, we can attack them. But yesterday was a different game altogether, and we was able to get the victory and was able to manage the win. We managed the game as well, which is absolutely brilliant from a Villa point of view. So we sometimes have, well, last week we had the, was it Yuri Too Good? I think it was Yuri Too Good, wasn't it? This week, we've got no Yuri. So this week's tactical debrief is going to be the Amadou Onana show, because he was absolutely incredible. And long-standing viewers will know of the channel that me and Earl have been saying Onana further up, driving forward with the ball, is the player that we need to unlock and we need to see more. Ever since Onana came in, and you know, you'll know that from that transfer window when Onana signed, me and Earl did an episode a couple of weeks before he signed saying Onana's the one we should get. And when we got him, I've always stuck by this, that I've always thought that there's a better version of what we were seeing at Everton. We haven't unlocked his potential. But Onana playing slightly further forward, using that power driving, that is the Onana that I've thought and known is there. And yeah, it's one game, but we can see it now. We can see what Onana's there. we can see that the school of Unai Emery has worked. One area of yesterday's game that I think he's improved so much already is receiving the ball in central midfield, letting it come across his body, opening the pitch up, and then you look at your options. Where are your passes? Can I drive with it? And you'll see a lot of Villa midfielders now. We let the ball roll across our body, and we're looking, we're scanning. And we're always scanning anyway. You scan, you're painting the picture in your mind. Rodgers does it really well. But Onana, taking that touch, opening his body up, what's in front of me, has improved massively. His technical understanding of the position that he's playing in, the awareness of danger, moving the ball around, just finding those open spaces, covering the danger, knowing where you need to be. He's improved his game a lot already this season, and he hasn't played as much as what I thought he would. But yesterday was a I think it was like a showcase piece for Onana to go, and Emery's gone, there's no Yuri now. You're playing. Now let's show everybody, and you show everybody what I've taught you while you've been here. And it was like, okay, that's fine. I'll take my braids out. I'll wear my hair in a pony, and I'll go and show everyone what I can do. And it was just really good because that's what you need from your players. And this is what, a lot of people have been saying this season, and Emery especially, is that when we have an injury, it doesn't matter. When you have an injury, you can't let that injury affect your team. And I think that's one of the big things that Villa do. And I was quite calm on Tielemans being out because it's somebody else's opportunity. And that player has the opportunity to play well, and if not better than the player that's not playing. So I'm always pretty all right with injuries because I know that that player will take his opportunity, which is huge. And you can see from the passing network that Onana was absolutely crucial to what we were doing, because look at that thick line from Konsa to Onana in 24, and you can see that we were expansive with our fullbacks, and then we go narrow. We go narrow into that Christmas tree formation, that narrow, dense shape in the middle of the park. That is a tactical variation and something that we've seen towards the back end of the season. It feels like Villa dominate, win that midfield battle. That is absolutely crucial to Unai. But I'm going to show you Onana's heat map now. And this is just so important to look at and analyse and see, because look at that. Onana, straight down the middle. Look at that little red heat map just in his own half. It's I'm going straight through your team, and that's how it looked to me on the eye test. Straight down, power, aggression, just wanting to win everything. And he did win everything, guys. He won pretty much most things that came within his area. So Onana, he had 74% passing accuracy, 10 of 13 duels were won, 7 of 9 ground duels, 3 of 4 aerials. So those numbers there are very, very high. I sometimes feel like if you're just above halfway, that means you've done okay. But to be in that bracket there, it's so dominant, so important and integral to the way that we played. I mean, if we have a look at some of the other duels, which duels are really important to Villa. So we've got Digne, 6 out of 9, Cash, 5 out of 6, Martinez, 2 out of 2 duels, Watkins, 3 out of 8, Konsa, 3 out of 5, Asensio, 1 out of 4, Mings, 4 out of 7, Rodgers, 8 out of 20, Ramsey, 5 out of 10, Torres, 1 of 2, McGinn, none of 4. So some good, some not as good. But if we just have a quick look now at the average positions for Villa, and I'll show you the heat maps of the Villa players as well. and you'll be able to get a better understanding of that narrow sort of formation for Villa. So you've got Digne up and down, Cash more stay at home, Mings, and we've got Konsa, Onana I've showed you, Kamara doing the side on working on the right hand side, protecting Matty Cash, Asensio dropping. We've got Ramsey on the left, but coming inside a little bit. We've got Rodgers, and then we've got Ollie Watkins as well. So Villa, narrow, but I think condensing the pitch is kind of working for Villa, and it's something that Unai Emery is trying to work on. Again, I think a big image of the game is Aston Villa in that 4-4-2 shape. Sort of, you've got one of their midfielders picking up the ball, and they're setting their structure defensively. But Villa's 4-4-2, bread and butter now. That formation now is just absolutely ingrained in us. We've got here the goal that we scored, Ollie Watkins onside. But again, you know, when I watched it and I spoke about it on the match reaction, I spoke about Matty Cash winning that ball. Matty Cash winning that ball was so important and so tenacious to be able to win that ball. Rodgers then puts in a beautiful ball into Watkins, and then Watkins has got the finish. So you've seen so much quality there. Heart, desire, hunger, passion to win the ball in the first place, quality to put the ball in the right area, and then the quality of the finish. But guys, we've got one thing that I really want to pick up on a tactical point of view, and it is so important to talk about this. And we can talk about Bailey offering width on the right and not wanting Rodgers there. But look at this. This is so important. Matty Cash 1v1 with a fullback, with a winger. Rodgers doubling up, helping out. Kamara tripling up and making sure he's protecting in there and just working in protecting that area through there. This is probably one of the biggest images I could show you of how we got that win and what it took for us to get that win as well. We've got the Ramsey red, yellow, not yellow. It's a foul. It's a coming together. The players brought it. Ramsey's not fouled that player. You can see that there's no out and out challenge that has gone in there. And then finally, we've got to show it again because Matty Cash, that could be Champions League football. So really proud of the team, how they went about their business. You know, before the game, Emery, Europe. He's like a man possessed for Europe. And what I kind of missed out on my match reaction was Europe 3 years in a row for Aston Villa. I think we are the first in I think, is it 10 years or something like that, with the first traditional non-Big Six club to get Europe 3 seasons in a row. So it's absolutely quality that we'll be watching some form of European football. So that is very, very good in itself and helps a lot with what we're trying to be. So very proud of this team to be able to do that. Anyone seen that picture? Actually, I'll try and get it before we go. Of the team in the dressing room, and it's so funny. It's so funny. If you've not seen it, let me try and find it. It's hilarious, man. Because you've got Per who's got like shampoo in his hair, and they're having this photo. I love seeing stuff like this. Absolutely love it. Let me try and find it. It's a great photo. Here we go. I've got it. Here we go. Here's the photo. Let me share it. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Great photo. Right, great photo. You know, look at them all. Look at the changing room as well. That's what I was looking at as well. So basic. I don't think the Villa changing rooms, but look at Paz. Look at Paz with his shampoo on him. I just thought it's such a nice. It's a raw photo that we don't. I mean, I'm not saying you want to see the players like with a towel around them and that, but like it's so raw and you can tell like the team spirit is there and they love each other. And yeah, I just thought it was a great photo. And you know, little, you know, I like seeing behind the scenes stuff because I think football nowadays it's so shut off and you just see them when they're having to talk about football in a very PR trained way. That when you see your team like that, you're like, yes, lads, love it. So yeah, and you know, Watkins, the record, I've wanted him to get this record for a while, guys. I think he's such a model pro and he works hard and to get that record. You know, I'm not. I like Gabby. I think Gabby was a good player for Villa. But I think Watkins for me deserves that record, and I'm just so happy for him that it had been too long, and it's it'd been a long time since a player had reached a big milestone at Villa. So the fact that we've been able to break that shows the journey. And Villa put on, I think it's a half-an-hour video of all of Watkins's goals, and you forget some of them. You forget his first goal for Villa was the one where he scored a hat trick against Liverpool in the 7-2. And that he's been on some journey with Villa. So great to see him get it. And hopefully he can just keep going and get more goals now and just keep progressing. And 2 games to go. Let's get more. Let's try and get, I don't know, 80. I mean, 2 games left. Let's get hat trick against Spurs, 2 against United, and we're pretty much in the Champions League, I reckon. So today we've got some football. We've got Chelsea. We got Newcastle against Chelsea, Forest against Leicester. So let's keep an eye on those. One of those teams are dropping points anyway, which is another bonus because 2 teams dropped points last week, Chelsea, Newcastle. So did Chelsea drop? No, Forest, Newcastle, I think it was, yeah. So let's hope that another team drop points and see where we are and go into a good week ahead against Chelsea. So let's do it. Let's attack it. Let's enjoy it now. Let's enjoy the build up for Spurs. Let's believe. All manifest it at home before you go into bed. Have a quick little think about the Villa. Think about us getting back in the Champions League. Yeah, it all helps, guys. All helps. These little 5%. All helps. So if you go to sleep with Villa on your mind and wake up with them on your mind, and it's about manifesting that Villa success. So that's the only way in life. Just manifest the Villa. So yeah, I'll be back. I'm not sure when the next episode will be, but yeah, we'll see when it comes out. Right, up the Villa.